Okay, so I'm going to say a few words about how some sales directors decide not to take cold calls. So, okay, not the end of the world, not brilliant either, but this is really more a message for sales directors and sales managers who decide not to take cold calls. And for many years, people like myself and other people of my generation and previous generations to me, and some of the younger generations, have made a really good living from cold calls. And I'm talking about professional cold calls. And probably wouldn't have achieved as much success if they hadn't made those calls. Now, the thing I just wanted to say is that if you're one of those sales directors or sales managers who has organically grown through the sales arenas, then please cast your minds back to when you made cold calls, and that hopefully will sort of make you feel a little bit softer towards cold calls. See, the alternative is emails, and I don't think it takes any less time to read an email than to take a phone call. Not to mention, emails are sometimes a bit garbled and long, and it takes ages to get to the point, and it could be something that you wanted or could be interested in, but you've decided to delete it because you just don't have the time to read it. So that's one of the reasons. The other reason is, if you're a sales director or a sales manager, surely it's a really good idea for you to listen to other salespeople so that you can get some tips, good or bad, for your own teams. I listen to all the salespeople that call me, and that's one of the reasons, because for me it's research. But just listening to some of the approaches, sometimes you'll be surprised, you may pick something really good up that you can pass on to your teams. So that's the second reason. The third reason I think you should take cold calls is because it's quite simple. For me, I think what goes around comes around. If you're expecting your salespeople to make cold calls and actually have somebody pick up a call on the other end, then isn't it fair that you give other people the same opportunity? And finally, one other thing, we all, of my generation, older generations, everybody's always saying, oh, the younger generation, they don't do this anymore and they don't do that anymore. Well, you know, the one thing they do want to do, they want to keep cold calling. They want to be able to make those cold calls. So why don't we help them to keep cold calling alive? Let's help them to keep that one real sort of, real, I'd say, necessary skill, the real sales skill, alive. Because if you can cold call and get through doors and speak to people who are willing to speak to you, then you've got more opportunity to survive, but it's also motivational and all of the above reasons that I've already said. So, not going to harp on any more about it, but I'm quite passionate about that. I'm quite passionate about helping salespeople to be professional. But if our own senior salespeople don't give them the time of day, then how can we expect anybody else to look on a salesperson or a sales profession as a respectable position or professional career to be in? So yeah, let's have your support. Thank you.